This is the end, rock-loving friends, the end. This is the end of Stage 3 500 grit aluminum oxide, my friends. We have up first Tumbling Ice, who has been soaking, or tumbling, with 500 grit aluminum oxide for the past 7 days. Let's see what we've got to show here. This is, it's kind of odd looking. There's a lot of foam. Very foamy foam. So, anyway, let's see what we got here. Well, we got some rocks, we got some ceramic, and a lot of foam. Barrel for inspection. Hope everybody's been doing well. Curious to see what we've got here. Can't really say a lot until I dry a couple of them off, but they definitely have a smoother feel overall. Nicer appearance. Yeah, looks like they're coming along nicely. This one's starting to really develop some character. It's just really unique looking to me. Like I said, nothing stunning or spectacular, but awful cool looking. And now we have Gimme Shiny and its lovely rocks. A little less foam in this one. Seems a little more liquidy, I guess. Let's see what we got. Like I said, so far I'm really happy with these barrels. They have shown no sign of leakage at all. I wish I could say the same. Whoops, sorry about that. Almost forgot to show the inspection for the inside. I wish I could say the same for the littles, but I've got a bad feeling we may be coming to an end without a major rework on those because they really leaked this time. So I've got some ideas to try to that I can try to stop that, but I'm not overly hopeful. Wow, look at that sucker. She's getting awful pretty. They're all getting awful pretty. Nice looking pudding stone there. There's my stripy one. This one, I forgot to show this in one of the last steps, but I think after the initial step there was, you can still see a little bit Probably help if I held it right. You can see just a little crack there, or at least hopefully you can, and it was bigger, and there was almost like a little kind of a, seemed like there was a little chunk out missing right around in here somewhere too, and then that got cleaned right off. So I'm kind of glad I sent it on ahead instead of stopping. But we won't have any kind of a shine now. Well, no. But we do have a little sheen, I guess you'd say. It's, oh, I can't tell, that is just so smooth. Baby's bottoms ain't got nothing on this rock, yeah. But hopefully by the end of the next step it's going to look like that when it's dry. This thing. Yeah, somebody in the comments said they thought it looked like one of the winter camo patterns for like mossy oak, and I'd say, yeah, pretty spot on. I'm sorry, I can't remember who made that comment, but whoever you were right. So, looking good, folks. Oh, there's that little pudding stone. She wore down a fair amount, but it didn't shrink as much as I was fearing it would. So, God, that's awful cool. And then this one, like I said, that's just, to me, that with the quartz inclusions running through that and these kind of big chunky stripes, I think that's pretty neat. And this one, whoops. Howdy, folks. I got some quick weights and measures here for you. These are the rocks from Gimme Shiny. When they went into the 500 grit stage 3 tumble, they weighed 5 pounds 12.5 ounces. They now weigh 5 pounds 9.8 ounces for a loss of 2.7 ounces. And this would be the part where I would start going, ooh, look how lovely they are. Well, unfortunately, I can't do that. We had a problem. We had some trouble in Tumbletown. In fact, you can see some of them actually gave birth to little baby rocks while they were in there. I've got a lot of bruising and crackage, cleavage, I guess you'd call that. There's a nice one that I don't believe was there from the start. Some of the rocks, I would say the actual sheen is not bad. The smoothness is there on this one overall, except for this end, which is just, it's not quite orange skin texture, but it's close. And I don't think that'll show on the camera. Plus, we picked up a few little cracky-doos. Some of the rocks were just fine, nothing anywhere, no damage, and then others, again, we've got some edge damage, some fresh cracks. Looking back at the film and kind of talking with a few people, it looks like the barrel was underloaded. And this is one of those things, I guess I really don't need to know the physics or understand them. I just don't want this to happen again. So if I needed to add more ceramic, that's fine. It seems odd that we didn't have this trouble right in stage 1 where I used no ceramics. But, suddenly in stage 3, they started banging against each other really badly. Well, again, I guess the volume thing, although part of me wants to argue that because those tumbler barrels don't tumble fast enough that these rocks are going to go like up to top dead center and slam down. This particular, doing an RPM check on it, I got 24 RPMs for these. And I believe I did the math correctly because I watched a couple videos and their results matched the methodology I used to come to that, which is basically a piece of tape on the rim and just count, and use a timer. But so unfortunately, some of these I think can go on. Most of them I think are going to have to regress a stage or two at least. I'm not sure how far I'm going to have to take it. This pudding stone was nice and smooth, and now it's kind of got a pebble-like feel to it. Again, like a sort of like a orange skin, maybe not quite that aggressive, but it's not smooth like it should be. And you can see this one, I believe that right there is fresh, and I think this is fresh. That crack I believe was there, but a couple of these look they look fresh. So a few questions I would like to put forward. I've read everything from you don't need to prep your ceramics at all to people that literally use ceramic, they have stage 2 ceramics and that's the only stage they use them in. And then anything in between, like people use them from stage 1 on, some people only use them in stage 2 on. So I'm a little bit confused about that. So if anybody's got sort of a consensus, you know, what their favorite method is. I've got one rock tumbling book, but I'm afraid if I show it and ask opinions on it, I'll get a copyright strike, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah, I'm kind of disheartened. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it out of my voice, but it sort of sucks because these were looking really good, I thought, and now not so much. So, I guess one other factoid I can throw out there is between the two barrels, I was after the couple stages they went through, I was at 3 pounds 11 ounces split between the two barrels. So, you know, yeah, I guess I could have used more. Again, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around the physics there that, you know, suddenly, because the volume in the barrel was down, they started beating each other up more. But you know, again, I guess I don't need to know the physics. It's just I need to know if that'll fix it. So, and the other thing is, again, do I need to prep? Like if I needed to add more ceramics going into stage 3, is it going to mess things up if I use fresh ceramics? And if it is, how do I prep them? You know, is it a couple days in the tumbler with 500 grit as an example, or do you prep them with like 120, 220, or grinding compound for that matter? I don't know. So if y'all could let me know that, I'd appreciate it. Alright folks, these are the rocks out of Tumbling Nice, which when we started, again, the stage 3 500 aluminum oxide, we were weighing 5 pounds 13 ounces. We now weigh 5 pounds 11.1 ounces for a loss of 1.9 ounces. So, and again, same issues apply here. This little pudding stone, which up till that stage was feeling really nice and smooth, it had, you know, again, there was a couple issues on it. I made note of those in the other video. This now it feels like a rough navel orange skin texture wise. So that's not good. Again, we're kind of all over the map. Now this thing, I don't know if this is a fossil or exactly what. I know this material is different than this though, because this actually was ridged before I started, but it seemed to be tracking along nicely. Well, now we have this area over here which is rough, and this area which is kind of rough. And again, I don't know if that was caused by operator error or what. Yeah, some of them are fine, some of them not so much. The problem I'm going to have is, what you'll find in this hobby is you need to have a good inventory, because you run a load for 7 days. Well, not all the rocks are always going to be ready to go. Well, you need the volume in the barrel, so that means you need to have rocks kind of in a backup, or I don't know, inventory, so that when you get, you know, well, I've got X number of these, but it's not enough to run a batch, well then I can throw them in with this, which is ready for that stage 2. Well, I don't have that. I don't have that depth of inventory yet, so unfortunately, until I can figure out what's going on, I'm going to do these rocks specifically are going probably on a little hiatus, or they're going to end up, like I said, some of them I think probably could go on to the polish stage. Some of them, I think pretty much this one's going to have to go right back to stage 1. So that means, again, unfortunately, unless I can think of a clever way to do it, that this, I'm going to lose the series as far as any of the scientific data. You know, I was hoping to go, okay, this barrel had this much, like I've been doing all along with the weights, and I think that's going to come to a halt. Thus far, here's the other thing. Thus far, my homemade large barrels, I think, are doing a great job. I don't think the barrels are the cause of this. I don't know that for a fact, though. Again, is it possible that, okay, yes, the ceramic is low, but you also had an issue because there's no rubber cushion when a rock hits another rock? Again, I'm not sure, don't know. I'm grasping for ideas. But the other thing is, during this whole series, my wife, unbeknownst to me, had been checking in at the Lortone Corporation, and just to see, well, we were getting, I don't know, it's been about 3 weeks now, she said, that she checked one day and they had both 3 and 12 pound barrels. So I now possess 3 professional Lortone 3 pound barrels, and this probably isn't going to fit very well in the frame, but 2 12 pound barrels. God love that woman. Yeah, it was a total surprise to me, and I said, well, I thought the 12 pounders were working, and she said, well, yeah, you seem to think so, but who knows, in a couple months are they going to start leaking too? And she said they had them and I got them, and I was like, God bless you, baby girl. So anyway, that was super awesome of her. And I guess the one question is, if it's potentially could have something to do with that barrel, I don't have to use that now. I want those to work. I spent more than a little bit of money and effort making them, and if it's a viable system, I want to keep going with it, with the addition of my fancy new ones too, of course, but it never hurts to have extra capacity. But I don't know, guys, there's a lot to throw at you. I'm putting my hat in my hand and going, help me, help me. Any tips? You know, again, if it was just a matter of low ceramics, well, you know what, I'll admit that I don't know everything, don't know a lot of stuff, and if I goofed, I goofed, and I can hopefully fix these for the most part without turning them into tiny little pebbles. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Like I said, I'm going to kind of put this one on hiatus until I can figure out for sure what we're going to do. I've got a lot of other rocks like this, and it's not going to be very long that the tumbler is going to sit idle. So I'll have some other stuff out for you guys for your tumbling enjoyment soon. As always, I appreciate any help, suggestions, tips, or hey idiot, you screwed up, as long as you're kind of nice about it. And I thank you for watching.